Hi everyone, I'm Danny from the Glittered Rose. I have been wondering if there is an alternative to the BetterPress cotton panels. In Australia, they are so expensive, so I've wanted to have a look to see if there was anything else that I could use to just make it a little less expensive. I just want to show you, in Australia, 25 cotton panels costs $80, which that is just, for me, that is so expensive. So I'm going to test other papers and see how they work. I thought we will start off with the sample paper that the BetterPress is shipped with, because if you have the BetterPress system, you should have the have this colour panels. So I've inked up my bouquet, and we'll go from there. So we'll just test them and see how they come out. So I'm going to ink every paper with the coastal ink pad and with the same press plate, just so that we have a good comparison to see how they work. I think that will give a good true representation. I'm just going to pop this through my Sizzix spellbinder, my Sizzix switch. Just run that through. This is how it comes out. It's beautiful. It worked lovely. So that's our first one, and we'll pop BP for BetterPress, so we know later on we'll know which is which. So that's the first one. Okay, we don't need to clean it because we're using the same colour. I went shopping yesterday for some papers. So I think watercolour paper is what will work best. And when you look, the hot press watercolour paper is very smooth and it hasn't got the texture. So I went with cold press where I could. Some of them have cotton, some don't. Some don't say some don't say the amount of cotton. This one is 25% cotton and it's by Fabriano. This one was a more expensive paper. I think it was about $20 for 12 A5, which is half A4. So that works out at $1.20 a sheet. If you compare that to the Spellbinder BetterPress paper, that works out at I should have done my maths. Hang on, I grabbed my calculator up. Sorry. $3.20 a sheet. This one works out at about $1.20. I will make a card out of the best one. So whatever paper works the best. Again, this one is the Fabriano watercolor. It's extra rough. Even though it's called extra rough, I don't think it felt particularly rough in comparison to other cardstock. Oh, wow. That is beautiful. Okay, so this is the Fabriano. It's about $1.30 per sheet. And we'll pop the price on this one, which is $3.20. Okay, so the next one we'll try is this one is a Kaisercraft, and it is $6.99 for 12. So this is about, we'll work this one out. So we'll go $6.99 times 2 divided by 12. About $1.10 a sheet. So this one, I think this one is my cheapest. And it's got a smooth side and a rough side. So we might actually do it on the smooth side. I'm pretty sure that you guys can get Kaisercraft over there, but it's just a comparison. I'm sure you'll have a lot more options. I think when you look for something with a little bit of texture, but not too much. Because you want to get something that's fairly comparable. About the 300 GSM. Sync it up. We'll just run this through the die cutting machine. Oh, that's beautiful too. I think that's lovely. Always reuse my washi tape. It's torn a bit. All right. Guys, I'm not seeing much difference yet. We'll link this one up. Okay, so the next one that we're going to try is the Ulta New watercolor paper. So it's marked $38. So I've done my maths using the $38, but I think you can pick it up cheaper than that. So per A4 sheet or letter size sheet, it works out at $3.09. So expensive like the BetterPress. I think it feels very similar. So I'll run this through my die cutting machine and we'll see how that goes. I just think sometimes it's nice to have alternatives because crafting is expensive. Okay, it's quite nice. I like that. That worked well too. I'm also using 2 shims in my BetterPress because this is such thick cardstock. I feel it doesn't need a lot. Yep, that texture is still lovely, and it's a nice white paper. Okay, so our fifth example is the Tim Holtz Distress Watercolour cardstock. This comes in two different textures. So you've got the rough side and the smooth side. We might test the rough side and then we might try again on the smooth side. So this cardstock is, I think, well priced at $1.59. So we're talking half the price of BetterPress. We'll try the rough side and then we'll go in with the smooth side and try that. I honestly did not know if different papers would work. I haven't seen any information on the internet. I was just looking at the BetterPress paper and thinking, well, not only is it super expensive, but I'm sure there are other alternatives. All right, we'll stick this on. Okay, now for the big reveal. Let's see. Oh, wow. I love that on the rough. I think that is gorgeous. That's beautiful. Okay. So we'll just write distress on this. $1.59 and smooth. Oops. Take this down. You'll have to excuse me. I have I have another cold. And my throat is super sore today. Okay. Sync this up. It's a very pretty colour. I think the French blue I prefer a little bit more, but it's very light. I wasn't sure how it would go on these more yellow cardstocks. Just run this one through. Oh, gorgeous. That worked really lovely as well. I'm just tearing the paper here. And there's another one. Okay, so this is now my last paper to test. Oops, and this is Paper House fine art paper. And this is a cold press medium texture, 300 GSM watercolor. Here's the paper. This one is only slightly more expensive than the Kaisercraft, and it sits at $1.12. It doesn't say if it's got any cotton in it. Both sides are about the same texture. And so we'll just quickly do this one. All right. Let's put this down and run it through. This turned out just beautifully. the texture you can actually see. Rip these off. Okay, so this one is the Paper House at $1.12, and it's beautiful. This one is the Distress Smooth. It's quite nice. Definitely not my favorite. I'm not sure if you can see the difference. This is Distress Rough, and I'm surprised it worked really well. I quite like this one. You can see lots of texture. The Altenew is nice. I think maybe put another shim in this one because the paper's a bit thinner. But for the price, I definitely wouldn't recommend it. Kaiser's turned out quite nice. And it's one of the cheapest ones as well. Well, it was the cheapest one at $1.10 a sheet. Definitely more affordable. Fabriano was lovely at $1.30. And this is the BetterPress, which it looks lovely, but at $3.20 a sheet, I don't think it's 3 times better than this one. Actually, this is my favorite, and it's $1.12. So it's the second cheapest. And then I would say the Distress Rough I quite like. Fabriano, I think, impressed beautifully as well. Very, very similar. So this goes to show that you do not have to use BetterPress paper in your BetterPress system. I cannot tell much difference. I think my favourite is the Paper House at $1.12, and I'm going to make a card with it. Okay, I'll be back with the card. Okay, so I'm back with a card. I've used the Paper House watercolor paper for the focal point, and I have 3D embossed it. I gave it a light spritz with water and ran it through my Sizzix machine. I used the Spellbinders 3D embossing folder tufted, and used the Sentiment Set is Always and Forever by Spellbinders. I used the Coastal ink for that. Use the same paper and BetterPress that and the sentiment. Pop some clear sparkles on, and I think it's lovely. It's a simple card, but I think it works. And it just goes to prove you don't need to buy Spellbinder BetterPress paper. I mean, the BetterPress paper is lovely, but I wouldn't say it's any better than this. So I hope you found this useful. I'm glad that it worked out well because I've got 50 sheets of that watercolor paper to use and lots of other watercolor paper. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful, be sure to like and subscribe. Till next time.